Koepka, one of LIV's big-ticket signings, was experiencing some of that remorse in February, according to golf writer Alan Shipno. But if Koepka wants to leave, it will cost him a lot more than what he signed for. In this video, we'll look at the controversy surrounding Brooks Koepka, a four-time major champion, quit the PGA Tour to become the highest-ranked golfer on the lucrative Saudi LIV Series, just months after blasting greedy Phil Mickelson for doing the same. So grab your clubs and let's get this video started. LIV Golf contracts explained. Why leaving Brooks Koepka and the others would cost a fortune? What happened to Brooks Koepka? What caused him to flip-flop? From labeling those who joined the LIV Golf Series as sellouts to saying he would not chase money to doing exactly that. Brooks Koepka is the latest big name to join the controversial Saudi-backed LIV Golf Tour. The four-time major champion will leave the PGA Tour after the series' second event in Portland next week. Koepka, a former world number one and four-time major winner, is one of the most visible rebels to emerge from golf's bitter civil war. The 32-year-old joins Dustin Johnson, Phil Mickelson, Sergio Garcia, Bryson DeChambeau, and Lee Westwood, as well as his brother Chase, who competed in the inaugural event at Centurion Club near St. Albans earlier this month. It means that 9 of the previous 22 majors have now been won by members of Greg Norman's Rebel Alliance, who will compete for a whopping £200 million prize pot during the first 8 events. Koepka, who is said to have been paid a large sum to defect to the lucrative tour, will now be barred from the PGA Tour. His future has been clouded by uncertainty, but he only recently called out speculation. When quizzed on why he remained on the PGA Tour, he replied, "There's been no other option to this point. So where else are you going to go? I'm here at the US Open, and I think it's a shame that you're all there." Matt Fitzpatrick took the trophy after finishing 55th in Brooklyn. LIV has also added Abraham Ancer, the world number 20. The news also comes just months after he effectively labeled Phil Mickelson's involvement in the new tour as greedy. Koepka, who has earned £30.8 million in career prize money, will have demanded a 7-figure fee to sign up, similar to Johnson, who received a £120 million upfront fee. Koepka, who has won the US Open and US PGA twice, removed the words PGA Tour/Nike athlete from his Twitter bio last night. According to The Telegraph, Koepka will be announced as a new series member ahead of the second event at Pumpkin Ridge in Portland, Oregon. For the time being, Koepka remains in the official field for this week's Travelers Championship on the PGA Tour, as LIV defectors have not been suspended by the PGA Tour until they have hit shots at a LIV event. When asked about the Saudi-backed tour ahead of last week's US Open at Brooklyn, former world number 1 Koepka retorted that reporters were casting a black cloud over the tournament. "I'm not sure what you mean. Man, I'm trying to concentrate on the US Open. I honestly don't get it. I'm sick of the arguments. I'm sick of it all," he admitted. "I'm here at the US Open, ready to play the US Open, and I think it kind of stinks too, that you're all casting this dark cloud over the US Open. It's one of my favorite occasions. I'm not sure why you keep doing it. The longer you give it, the more you talk about it." And, back in February, when Mickelson was criticizing the PGA Tour's control of media rights amidst rumors of his involvement with the Saudi-backed tour, Koepka called out his fellow Americans' hypocrisy. "They, PGA Tour, also charge companies to use shots I've hit," Mickelson said. "And when I did the match, which I did 5 times, the tour required me to pay them $1 million each time. In order to protect my own media rights. That kind of greed is beyond repulsive to me." How much must LIV golfers pay to be released from their contracts? According to Sports Illustrated Alex Maselli, if a player wishes to terminate his LIV Golf contract, he must repay the organization 2, 3, or 4 times the amount of his signing bonus. So Koepka would have to repay LIV Golf up to $600 million, 4 times his original $150 million signing bonus. Dustin Johnson signed a similar contract with the Rebel Golf League in 2022. Some players are reportedly upset about LIV's potential expansion from 10 to 14 events per year. They believe that their contracts are only guaranteed for a limited number of people. According to Maselli, some players believed they should be compensated for the extra 4 events. Koepka, who notoriously played a lighter schedule on the PGA Tour, is unlikely to be thrilled with the potential expansion of LIV's schedule, though he recently stated he is happy with the way things are going. "I knew exactly what I was getting into," Koepka said of the possibility of increasing from 10 to 14 events. Players who signed 4-year contracts will be under contract until the end of 2025 season. LIV must become profitable before then. but a lack of sponsorships, low TV ratings, and waning interest in the novelty from 2022 to 2023 call that into question. On Sunday, Jon Rahm finished the Masters in Augusta, Georgia, with a brilliant par save. He started 4 shots behind Brooks Koepka as players arrived early to compete a third round that had been postponed due to weather. By the end of the round, he had cut his deficit to 2 shots, pulled ahead on the front 9 of the final round, and finished with a 69 for a 4-shot victory over Koepka and Phil Mickelson. Rahm finished the championship at 12 under par after 3 rounds in the 60s. He said he never expected to cry after winning a golf tournament, but he came very close on the 18th hole. There was plenty to make you laugh, cry, and cringe. The Saudi-funded LIV Golf circuit's 18 players were able to compete in the Masters, but they still had plenty of games. Koepka set the pace from the moment he tapped in for an opening round 65 until the final 9 holes on Sunday, when Rahm overtook him thanks to some poor shots and even worse luck. Patrick Reed's final round 68 put him in a tie for 4th place with Jordan Spieth and Russell Henley, making it 3 LIV Golf players in the top 6. 12 of the 18 made the cut, demonstrated that their shorter schedules and 3-round tournaments had not dulled their game in the least. Sergio Garcia slammed the PGA Tour after Fred Couples called Mickelson a nutbag. When Woods' plantar fasciitis flared up again early Sunday, he withdrew from the Masters for the first time as a professional. The question now is whether he will compete in the PGA Championship at Oak Hill in less than a month. The most important information in this text is that Jon Rahm has 2 legs of his career Grand Slam in hand and only needs the PGA and British Open to complete it. He was 2 strokes behind Koepka when they returned to Augusta National early Sunday, but he quickly cut the deficit in half. The rest of the round was shot for shot between the two and the US. When the final round began, the Open champion at Torrey Pines was still 2 shots behind Koepka. Rahm had no such issues, sizing up the opportunity to build a lead that no one could match. Rahm's walk off the 18th green in the twilight was a memorable image from a memorable Masters. Rahm had one of his own on Ballistro's birthday and the 40th anniversary of his 2nd Masters title. He hugged his wife and 2 children before embracing 2-time Master champion Jose Mara Olazabal. "I think the hardest thing to control today was the emotion of knowing what it could be if I won," Rahm said. Rory McIlroy, a Jupiter resident who has been as vocal as anyone in his support for the PGA Tour, was taken aback by Koepka's decision, calling it duplicitous. When asked about McIlroy on Tuesday, Koepka chose his words carefully. "Look, I respect Rory as a player," Koepka explained. "He's fine, he's incredible, he has the right to his opinion, he is free to think whatever he wants, he'll do what's best for him and his family, and I'll do what's best for me and my family, and I can't blame anyone for that. And, as I previously stated, opinions change, man. Money has that effect." What are your thoughts on this matter? Please share your thoughts in the comment section. If you liked today's video and found it interesting, please give us a thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to get the latest content as soon as it's uploaded. Thanks for taking the time to watch. See you in another video soon.